Why are Karens haunting the cops? Over the past few years, Karen have used their supremacy to demand to speak with the manager or to call the police for the smallest, frequently false offenses, thus leading to tussles. Let's check out a few such incidents in the recent past. Number 1. Karen trying to attack a cop in New Mexico. What occurs if a drunk driver is apprehended and attempts to assault law enforcement, even inside a restroom?
Start yet? Okay? I didn't tell you to start. Do you understand my test?
You know what? I'm drunk, okay? I'm drunk.
In December 2021, Jamie Granger was taken into custody by a New Mexico State police officer at a gas station in Tularosa. Granger, who was detained for driving while intoxicated, has now accepted a plea bargain after an officer discovered Granger speeding and weaving in the U.S. Highway 54 south of Carrizozo. She is reported to have evaded a traffic stop. Granger's vehicle was found by the officer 20 miles away, outside of a gas station. Granger was supposedly inside a restroom when the policeman came over to speak with her.
Come out of the stall and get out. Now.
I'm peeing.
Come out of the fucking vehicle.
Fuck!
Get out here now. Tell me you're driving that blue car, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. You are now detained.
Granger can be heard asking, "What did I do? I took no action. I just had to go to the bathroom." Granger allegedly tried to kick the officer and bit him after that.
Mommy, go!
Put your foot in there.
No!
Thank you. Come back over here. Put your seatbelt on.
No!
Come back
Mommy,
over here.
go!
Come on.
No!
Come on. Okay.
Mommy, go!
Granger admitted to 2 charges of violence on a peace officer and aggravated DWI, according to court records. When police discovered that Jamie Granger was speeding and weaving, she is said to have fled the scene. Granger was supposedly inside a restroom when the policeman came over to speak with her. Granger allegedly tried to kick the officer and bit him after that. Granger entered a guilty plea to 2 charges of violence on a peace officer and aggravated DWI. Number 2. Karen attacks a cop after faking illness. Karen is accused of hitting a hospital nurse as well as the policeman who came to take her into custody. The officer must be shocked when he is attacked at a hospital, which is the least expected site for an attack, don't you think?
One of the nurses that she was only there because she needed a ride to the hospital. Then she wanted to see her husband, who was admitted there earlier.
Police said the incident occurred at Westmoreland Hospital on January 22, 2018. At 1:30 p.m., authorities were sent to the emergency department due to a patient allegedly assaulting a nurse. The nurse informed law enforcement. The 27-year-old Alicia Edwards was taken from her Jeanette flat to the hospital via ambulance. But it wasn't long before it was discovered that Edwards had made up a medical condition in order to see her husband, who had been brought to the hospital earlier. She got there, and while she was still on the stretcher, she made it clear she was only there because she needed a ride to the hospital. According to Greensburg Police Capt. Robert Stafford. After learning that her husband had been discharged from the hospital, Edwards reportedly began having a fit on the stretcher in the middle of the emergency room. After being taken off the stretcher, Edwards allegedly pursued the nurse and trapped her in a room. Edwards then started kicking and beating the nurse. Edwards was pinned to a wall by the nurse, who managed to seize one of her arms. Captain Stafford stated she attacked one of the nurses as soon as she was released from the stretcher. Edwards acknowledged to the police that she was intoxicated and had forgotten her phone number. After arrest for public intoxication, the officer put her in the back of a patrol cruiser. The officer apparently had to pull over after Edwards allegedly began to kick the partition glass of the vehicle. Then, when they were trying to better restrain her in the car, Edwards allegedly spat in the officer's face. She was kicking on the back of the window, the partition between the officer and the back seat, said the captain. She spit on one of our officers' faces after being taken to the Greensburg police station. She is said to have tried to kick the cops many times. Since then, Edwards has been accused of insurance fraud, violent assault, assault by a prisoner, and public intoxication. Number 3. Karen is trying to attack the public and police in an airport. On May 27, 2021, a video of a woman losing her cool at the airport went viral.
Breathe, Terry.
I've had enough. I didn't deserve this.
Okay. Yeah, you're okay.
Please, someone film this. Please.
You want to lock
People
it?
called the woman Airport Karen or Boo-Hoo Karen, but there were also many unanswered concerns about her past. Desperate to see the manager of the airport, Terry Ann Blues was heard yelling at other passengers and furiously asking to board her aircraft.
The manager of the fucking airport here. Who saw me choking? Who saw him choke me to the ground? Who saw me?
I saw you run through the door when you weren't supposed to.
He choked me to the ground.
Ma'am, let's go over here. Ma'am.
I'm a woman
Over here.
in a dress.
Ma'am, let's go over here. Ma'am, let's go over here, okay?
Boo-hoo.
Ma'am.
No.
Calm down.
I want the manager here.
Okay, we'll get the manager.
I'm not going to be treated like this.
Ma'am.
I want an officer here.
When the video was shared on TikTok, it went on to receive over 5 million views. It is still accessible there. The incident actually happened at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, despite the video's claim that it happened at the Indianapolis airport. Blues was then taken into custody on charges of public intoxication, resisting arrest, search or transport, possession of marijuana, and possibly serious drug crime, according to an incident record from airport police that Newsweek was able to get. Blues was discovered in possession of 98 tablets, including naproxen, diclofenac sodium delayed release, tizanidine hydrochloride, and gabapentin, along with a leafy green substance. Officer Alfman claimed to have seen Blues fall at the jet bridge's entrance. Blues angrily declared, as seen on camera, that a guy had choked her. When I told Blues to follow me out the door, she said, "I want the stupid manager of the airport," according to Blues, who witnessed me being choked to the ground and a passenger reporting that they witnessed her running to the door when she wasn't supposed to. The officer filed a report. A passenger can be heard shouting, "Boo-hoo," back to Blues as she asks if anyone saw what happened in the popular video. Number 4. Karen assaulting cops and law enforcement officers. A Texas lady was taken into custody on felony and misdemeanor counts, one of which involved attacking law enforcement officials during the January 6, 2021 invasion of the U.S. Capitol. A joint session of the U.S. Congress was called to determine and count the electoral votes for the 2020 presidential election, but her actions and those of others caused disruptions. In a criminal complaint filed in the District of Columbia, Dana Jean Bell, 65, of Princeton, Texas, is accused of 2 felonies: attacking, resisting, or obstructing specific officers, as well as obstructing law enforcement during a civil disturbance. Bell appeared for the first time in the Eastern District of Texas after being taken into custody in Princeton, Texas today. Bell was recognized among a group of rioters on January 6, 2021, inside the Capitol building and within the restricted area of the Capitol grounds, according to court filings, open-source camera footage, and other evidence. Bell was shown sporting blue pants, a white long-sleeve shirt with a pattern on the front, and a dark leather jacket. She occasionally appeared with an American flag, a gray knit winter hat, and a purple rucksack. Bell can also be seen on body-worn camera footage, acting aggressively and using derogatory comments or threats right up to the faces of the police. At 2:55 p.m. during this altercation, Bell took hold of one officer's baton with her right hand and began to actively struggle and push against them while using an aggressive tone of voice. The Department of Justice's National Security Division's Counterterrorism Section and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia is handling this case's prosecution. Number 5. Karen attacks a cop by throwing coffee. Officers on duty must have been taken aback when Karen hurled coffee at them, as nobody anticipated that hot coffee would be used as a weapon against law enforcement. In Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania, a 52-year-old woman must have had a rough day. All she wanted was her coffee. Therefore, Sonia Connors, the woman, allegedly came behind the counter at a Burger King in Youngwood, Pennsylvania, ignoring an employee and poured herself a cup of coffee, according to Pennsylvania State Police, who spoke with WTAJ-TV. Trooper Steve Lamani told WTAE in Pittsburgh that after the woman poured herself a cup of coffee, is confronted by one of the system managers telling her, "You can't be back here, 1 and 2, you owe us for the coffee." After allegedly giving the employee a shove, Connors allegedly left the Burger King. The woman was at a BF store next door when troopers got to the scene, which is where the police altercation had taken place. Everything was recorded by the store's security cameras. When the troopers got there, they discovered that Connors was still clutching the hot coffee cup. Connors is seen on camera leaving the troopers after a brief conversation with them. The coffee cup is hurled a short while later and strikes one of the troopers, according to WTAJ, which plays the security footage. Lamani told WTAE, "Obviously there could have been burns. That kind of thing could have happened to the police officer if it had struck him in the eyes." Following her arrest, Connors is being charged with aggravated assault, among other things. Do you believe that the police and law enforcement should hold these Karens more accountable for their crimes? Share your thoughts on this in the comments section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye.